Yeah. And then I started.
All right.
Okay.
My name is Rob Lenoir. I attend services here at Maysville. I am over the media and communications, which, as we look at this class is for broadcasting information. The last workshop we had here, I got real technical, got into a lot of information about how to broadcast, what to broadcast to. I kind of wanted to bring this class down to not really all question and answering, but be a little more simplistic about what we do. If you look in the back of the room over here, you'll see a laptop that we've got set up. So you'll see a camera above the door over here. You'll see a microphone right here. So this is a normal Sunday morning class for us. So we record in here. We don't necessarily broadcast from here. But if you look at that, that's a laptop, a USB camera, and for audio's sake, we just added a microphone to it. So as you look at it, very simplistic form. It doesn't take a big investment to broadcast. Maysville has put a lot of investment in broadcast. 2009, I was asked to help with our website, and I was going through a lot family-wise. My wife had just had back surgery. She was unable to attend church for about 3 months, recuperating from back surgery. Actually, she had, I think, 3 or 4 back surgeries. But so when they asked me to help with the website, I had dabbled a little bit in broadcasting. So naturally, I said, well, one thing I would do different is let's broadcast our services. So as we look at that, that became really my focus as I tried to help with our website. Almost immediately, we had a family that had 2 children in the military that were not able to leave the base to go watch go to the church services locally. So I came up here with my son. We ran internet cable so that we would have wired connect to a sound room, and that's exactly what I set up. Was a laptop computer, a camcorder at that time with a USB connection as we look at it, and we broadcast. Now, I can't tell you the response from that dad with tears in his eyes to be able to say his kids were able to see live our church service on Sunday morning. Made me feel real good. It was one of those things that was instant gratification right there. I knew I had made a difference. It was something that I did and I was proud of, but it actually was able to give to someone else at that point. So as we look at it, any show of hands, anybody that has a website where they attend right now? Website. Anybody here in charge of that website? Okay. So really, as we look at this, sort of, okay. So as you look at it, I get a lot of technical help. Bruce was one that handled the website before I took it over. As we look at that, for 9 years, I didn't change what he did. I just added one page. I put a broadcast drop-in box, which picked up our video feed from a third-party website. So I didn't change a lot, but I made a big impact on our website to be able to have live video. Initially, my vision of the website was for our sick and shut-in, the people locally that cannot get to church, that would have an app or an option to be able to see services. So I think of our elderly in the congregation that can do that. So one of the things I want to go over today is what are some issues we're seeing coming up in our broadcast that can help you in your broadcast. Small mind. I'm very simplistic in nature, but I've got a small mind, and as I look at that, my vision of that was very small. Just not even 2 weeks ago, Sunday morning broadcast, we have the ability to chat with the people that are watching online. I got a message from a viewer in Grenada. That is down south of Cuba. in the Caribbean islands. I never dreamed that we would touch somebody like that. About 6 months ago, absolutely. Yeah, big picture now. About 6 or 8 months ago, I got a live viewer from Great Britain that said, I live in South Africa. I am working in Great Britain and there is no church here. I found your broadcast online. To me, I never dreamed I would touch somebody that big. That's huge to me. I haven't looked at the stats recently. I've got some other people helping me and they're kind of watching the stats, but 2 years ago we were in 154 countries. Our archive videos. So for there to be 190 countries in the world, and I was in almost 85 or 90% of those countries preaching the word.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so our video is actually touching people in that many countries. So that's, I mean, as you look at it, you can start small. It doesn't have to be huge. Question?
Yeah. Every service is interpreted, but do we have information about how many deaf are watching?
I can't segregate deaf versus.
She has some in Italy and in Europe. Yeah, she's been in touch with some deaf people that's watched theirs. Yeah.
Right.
We haven't seen information about who's deaf that's watching, but Francis interprets every church.
Right. Yeah, good deal. Question?
My church staff, y'all pastors had ripped that, and we do it live on our cruise, Tulsa, Oklahoma. A man named Staff, he's the one that sets up on the internet and stuff like that.
Is y'all's interpreted?
Okay.
Yeah, no. Is your church
Have moved up to two.
on the internet?
Yes, we have double ones, 2 temperatures on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Double
Okay.
one people is watching us.
So your video is interpreted also.
It's that person, it's a dead class.
Oh, okay.
So it's all
It's
deaf.
all
Yes.
deaf.
Okay. Well, and that, as I look at it, becomes one of the things that the only way I had to really drive what I was doing on our broadcast was to look at other religious videos and kind of say, well, I can mirror or I can. So a lot of what I do is driven by Francis saying, a deaf person told me this is what we need to do, or this is how we need to do that. So there's a lot of ways to do that. What I'll find, and I'll start with a small drawing here. So as you have your video screen here, what I do is I put a little logo that tells you you're watching Maysville on here. Okay? And then I have our person who is speaking up here. And then I have a smaller interpreter up here on the side. Now that began with a box around them. Okay? And I got tickled. Francis sent me a document that said, here's the preferred methods of interpreting a video on a live broadcast. Well, that talked about a green screen. Anybody know what a green screen is? Okay. Yeah, I've got it down front, absolutely. So you see that in the auditorium, if you were in there off to the left side, there's a green screen. What that does, it allows me to take this box out, and the person's really not really floating, but they're in there with the regular background behind them. So it looks like they're standing up front, but really she's over here on the side with the deaf members right there in front of her. Make sense? So it's almost like I've created a deaf worship or a deaf presentation with the interpreter being up front, but she's really not up front. That makes sense?
I'm thinking, your internet can be only good if the router or modem still running, send it out.
Absolutely.
What if somewhere in the line caused it make the cable company think this is a no good modem?
I'm not 100% sure what you're asking, but as I look at it, are you talking about the cable company blocking what I'm doing in video?
No.
Okay.
I contacted the cable company, and first they said the modem is no good.
Okay.
So I brought a new modem, and it still can't read it. So it has to be aligned, so they will send a truck. So I thought maybe the church has the same problem.
The only problem I've ever had, which I had Sunday morning this week, as you look at it, I came to church, everything's set up. When we boot the computer up, it automatically populates several things, and I get a red screen that says you're being blocked. This is a malicious site. We're not allowing you to go to it. First time I'd ever seen that. We've been doing this 10 years. Well, October this year, November this year will be 10 years we've been doing this. First time I thought I've never been blocked. Okay? Well, I've got a guy, Anthony Mock attends here. He's really my IT guy. He can go into the backgrounds of everything that's going on, and he pulled up and he said, your router's blocking you. So we had to do some internal settings, and we got it back by Sunday morning worship. So as you look at broadcasting, one of the things I look at is having backup plans in place. So when my live broadcast was blocked, what did I do? I hit record, so I recorded my video so that I can go back later and upload it. I didn't lose that, if you will, that class. So I've got a way I can upload it later, but I was blocked, but it was me blocking myself. We put filters on our routers so that people can't come up in the parking lot and jump on our Wi-Fi and do whatever they want. So we've got filters to keep people from doing that. Just keeping everybody honest is all it's doing. People in the auditorium can jump on Wi-Fi. There might be a natural tendency to hand a kid an iPad and let him play with an iPad during worship service. But you never know what they're going to push. So we filter what traffic we see, and we make sure it's on a white list so we know it's not anything of a questionable nature as you go through. I don't know if that 100% answers your question, but there is a technical aspect of what I do. I'm trying to simplify the technical aspect here to say, here's what we do. It all starts with a computer and a camera on a software. There's hundreds of softwares out there. Pushing it to a website, there are hundreds of websites you can push it to. So as you look at it, I don't want to get into all of that as we look at it, but just the simplistic nature of creating a video that you can push out on the internet that people can watch live or later. Make sense? That's good information. That's good information. So as you look at it, real simplistic. I mean, the first video I ever did.
You have to back up a little bit.
Okay.
They can see.
The first video I ever did, after being asked, I had to see, can I do it? So I actually broadcast the first sermon on my cell phone, which I brought up the software I was going to use. I pulled it up on my phone, and I sat in church service, and I held my cell phone out in the aisle, and I got a 3/4 view of the pulpit, and I could look back here and see, and I broadcast 15 minutes of service, the first one I ever did, with a cell phone. So you're going to see that 10 years ago, technology was almost there where you could broadcast with a cell phone. It's a lot better now, but you got enough computing power right here. Now I brought a tablet in. It's the same thing. You've got I'll try to back up. Just a tablet. It's a Windows tablet, but it has a camera right here. Technically, you could set that up and broadcast. I have a friend that preaches across town. He was he was always, he comes and looks at what I have and he drools. He wants what we have here at his church. They don't have the budget we have. I said, well, there's a lot of things you can do to improve what you're doing without having the budget we have. So he had been setting his cell phone up on his pulpit and he was taking a picture right up his nose. So as you look at it, as you watch his videos, it was an interesting angle as you look at it. So I told him, I said, your wife sits on the second row, I know. Can you have her video from there or put it on a holder, and that way everything's steady, much better angle. He started doing that, and it looks a lot like our videos now because it's from a little further away. He's a little bit smaller, but as you look at it, it's very simplistic. All he's using is a cell phone, and he's broadcasting to Facebook. Make sense? Makes sense. Does everybody in here know how to broadcast to Facebook? No? So, you do?
Now, I got a question.
All right.
When you broadcast video for a short, say, an hour, that's a very large file.
Absolutely. Almost 2 gigs of data. If you record a high definition recording, so an HD recording is about 1 gig an hour. What I have found is archiving these videos is a real fun chore. So if I've got, and I was doing 5 videos a week, so you can imagine I was getting almost 10 gigs of data a week for 10 years. So I've got huge 4, 8, 12 terabyte hard drives holding my data at this point. So there's a lot of data involved. Make sense? Question? So, there's some unique challenges in what I'm doing. But as you look at it, it's not very difficult. And each of the things that I do different now are because somebody asked me to do something. See, originally I was broadcasting for our sick and shut in. Then Francis got involved and said, can we put sign language over the top?
Got it.
This right here is specialty work. This is hard to do. Not everybody can do that.
Did this require 2 cameras to do this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now the system we use has actually got 4 cameras. So I've got 3 remote control cameras. So I've got two side angles and a front. And then the sign language camera is separate. Okay? So then we got to be able to take 2 inputs and place them on the same screen. I do it with software. So there's softwares out there. I don't know, some of the new ones. Are you broadcasting?
Our church
Does? Okay. Do you know what software they use?
That's what I was going to ask you. I don't know the name. We use Ustream is one of them.
Ustream is a website you're streaming to, so that will be a host.
And there's 2 different ones, but we have multiple ways.
Okay, I'm going to run down that road right there. Ustream is, now, what we do at this point is we have 4 outlets that we send video to. Now, as you look at that in a bandwidth issue, if I had to send 4 streams out, I'd be using a lot of data, right? So what we use, I used to do Ustream. Okay, I got an email one day and it said what you've been doing is now going to be paid. You've got to pay for what you use. Okay, so I don't like paying for stuff on the internet. A lot of that stuff's supposed to be free, right? So we use what is called caster.io. Okay, this is it. Some people call it restreaming. But what we do is we send them a stream, and then they send our streams to somebody else. So from there, we actually send out to Sunday streams. That is really a recaster. All they're doing is they're taking a feed and they're pushing it out. Now, it's interesting.
Just a second.
Go ahead.
They're accepting us, and then they are sending it out themselves.
What's the cost difference between the upstream?
This is I would have to actually look and see. This is a paid site. This is free or almost free. It's not very expensive. We get into big data and we start paying. So I think we pay a little bit for this, but we pay a lot more for this. Now, with this service, what we get is they multicast. So they send a stream out. We send them a 720, which is high definition. P.
7.
Okay. We send a 720p stream. One of the issues that we get in people watching is my phone or my iPad buffers all the time. Okay? You need to be picking the stream up from Sunday streams, and you need to drop to a low. So you've got high, medium, and low quality. Make sense?
Okay.
All right. So we send to Sunday streams, and this is what our website. So if you go to Maysville.org and go to our media page and say live media, it goes to a pop-out window. It says here's the stream. Okay. If you go to the settings button, you have a high, medium, and low. So if you're buffering all the time, I would suggest you go to a low quality feed. You're going to get the audio. You're going to hear it. The quality of the video is going to be somewhat less than what's desirable, but it's not going to be an HD stream. But you're still going to get the live stream. This is one of the things that we're working on right now so that more people can see it without any issues live. Make sense? From here, we also send it to Facebook. Which almost half of our streamers come in through Facebook. Social media is one of the biggest. When my Facebook goes down, my phone's ringing. People are calling. Why are you not online? I'm on Facebook and you're not. So as you look at it, I end up spending a lot of my time just texting people going, hey, it'll be up in a minute. We're working. We got a problem. We got this or we got that. The other way we do it is YouTube. Make sense? So now as you look at it, I've got multiple streams out there. So somebody says your stream's not working. What do you think my first question is? Where are you watching it from?
I went to a class, it's in Texas, and it was a sign language communication, biblical communication.
Okay.
Take the Bible and change it to ASL.
Right.
And I made a video. I sent it to a teacher who gets it through YouTube.
Right.
Then I made a large file with the 4 chapters. I sent it, he didn't get it. Why didn't he get it? I tried to send it myself. I didn't get it.
Large files won't go across the internet very well.
Then a friend said, in Facebook, YouTube, there's a link. Use that. I tried that, still didn't get it. How do you solve that?
Okay. What you're going to find in each of these, there are different levels of ability. So Facebook, when you start, they limit to how long your broadcast can be. The bigger your number of viewers that you have, the more that they'll allow you to do. YouTube does the same thing. When I started broadcasting on YouTube 10 years ago, they would only allow a 1 gigabyte file to be uploaded.
1 gigabyte.
1 gigabyte. Okay. My hour and a half of service, I was approaching 2 gigs. But as my viewers go up, see, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers on my channel right now. That's pretty impressive that we've got, what we have, 300 members here? 250 members here, but I've got almost 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So as you look at that, the more subscribers you have, these channels a lot of times will bump up what they'll allow you to do. Right now, they'll allow me to upload a 2 gig file.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. So now when I broadcast, my live video is automatically archived, so I don't have to upload after the fact. I do classes like this, and I upload those later. They're almost 2 gigs in file because I'm using HD cameras, high definition, and everything like that. So you'll see I've got files that are live and I've got files that are uploaded later, which are, as you look at that. So I've got two different sections of my YouTube channel. But as you look at it, the more you do this, the more that service is going to allow you to do. So you hit 1,000 subscribers here, I'm going to have a couple other things that are going to bump up. And so I'm at 916, I think, subscribers here. But as we look at it, it becomes, the more you do, the more they're going to allow you to do. Does that make sense?
Are you saying that YouTube does a better large file than Facebook?
Mm-hmm. Facebook actually trunks the file. They do it with pictures. They downgrade them. So if you put up a very high resolution picture into Facebook, unless you tell it don't trunk my file, it will make it a smaller file so that they won't have to archive as much. YouTube does the same thing, and they'll downgrade. Well, I haven't run it in as much as YouTube, but I have run into it with Facebook. They'll downgrade the video where YouTube, I'm pushing an HD stream to them, they're going to archive an HD stream. Make sense? So, as I look at it, once we get all this done and we're broadcasting on a regular basis, now you're maintaining. So you've set your website up, you've set all the hardware and software up in the background to make this happen. And as you look at broadcasting, then it becomes really monitoring the viewers and making sure you don't have problems. Which I'll get a member that'll come to me and say, hey, I was watching last Sunday and here's the problem I had. So then it becomes figuring out and a lot of them like to text me and say, your broadcast doesn't work. Okay? So I've got to start backing up and figuring out where's the breakdown. 9 times out of 10, it's on their end, right? So as you look at YouTube in a high definition or Sunday streams, now one of the neat things about Sunday streams too, how many people here have Roku? Y'all got Roku? Have you ever looked up their Sunday Streams channel? Look up Sunday Streams channel on Roku. Do a search on the Sunday Streams channel for Maysville Church of Christ. We've got a Roku channel now. Okay? So we got property out there we hadn't had, and this all just happened in the last 6 months. Go ahead.
Can you buy that for home too? Is that for like home use or
no? What?
No. Is that for businesses more?
If you're watching or broadcasting.
Oh, Caster.
Caster is a website for broadcasting. Okay.
Yeah. Can you do that? Can you use it from home?
Not to watch. You won't watch here. This is kind of a background software for me to broadcast. Okay.
Yeah. You don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
if you're watching the video, you're going to be on these platforms.
Hang on just a second.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. If you're watching us, you're going to be watching there, or there. You won't be watching them. They just kind of support that.
Right.
Sometimes it freezes,
What was he talking about freezing?
He just says sometimes he has.
Where is it? Where is it freezing?
Ustream sometimes freezes.
Okay, yeah. Ustream does.
It's sometimes.
It's a lower.
Yeah, it's a low.
This is older,
Oh, okay.
newer. So if you go to Maysville.org media, so on her computer, you're watching our broadcast on Maysville.org on our media page. Okay? So our live video will come up on that page. So you would pull your computer up and pull up Maysville.org and go to our media page, and you're going to be watching it on one of these 3 platforms. Right. Okay. So as you're looking at this, you got the ability to change on your end. So if you've got a real slow internet, you want to go to a lower quality stream so it'll be more fluid, so that the sign language person's not jumping around. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're a fast connection to the
Yeah.
internet, is the caster.io named? Is that the host server?
That's who we push. Okay. And I'll get a little more technical as we get questions as we go through.
Yeah.
So, in our sound room, we're pushing.
No, if they're the host.
Technically, yes. Okay. We push an RTMP. Right. We pay a little bit for this. This is our software in the sound room where we capture video. We're pushing a file that's called an RTMP, or we're pushing to an RTMP server. Okay, that's what Caster is. Okay. Caster then pushes it to a restreamer, which is called Sunday Streams, or to third-party sites like Facebook and YouTube.
He's sort of the middleman.
Right. Well, this is so that we don't have to send out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different files. We send to him, and he now sends out those other 4 files. Yep. Well, now that's a website.
Yeah.
GoDaddy is a website host. This would be a video or RTMP server host. Okay, and there's a little bit of difference. So we actually put their link on our website. Where'd it go? Right here. So we're actually pushing to them, and then we pick it back up here and put it back on our website so that you're seeing it. What's the question?
Oh, he does. He does.
Well, actually, I have help. Yep.
Yeah, but yeah,
I manage it, but I have technical help in doing it.
our website contacts him to display it.
Our website contacts Sunday Streams.
Okay. Our website contacts him, so you can see on our Johnson. So he's sending it. The room upstairs in there sends to him. He sends to him, and then he receives it from him. It's like, Peggy.
Are we done?
That's a 5-minute.
5 minutes? Okay. Are we on? Yeah, we're on. .org. All right. So you can see it. So our website, can I move over here? Is that getting you? This is what our website looks like. All right. See a media button? Watch us online on your computer. Watch now. So as you look at that, what I do, live video feed, which actually you're going to see what's going on in the auditorium up there here, because we are live feed, we're live video. You notice it popped out another window, and there's my video player. See, this is what's going on right now in the auditorium, right? Okay, this, now PowerPoint here too. So now I've got a new window here. So I do some pretty challenging stuff. If I can get a PowerPoint and a sign language interpreter and the speaker of a normally spoken service, that's pretty complicated when you look at it. Now, the window here is actually Sunday streams. So Sunday streams is what's doing this. So we're pushing the caster, which is pushing the Sunday streams, and then we're pulling up Sunday streams on our... Make sense? Logoed. You got apps down here. You can actually pull out... Let me...
Yeah, he's receiving power.
On Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
And see, I have access to all the high-speed internet and everything around here. Not everybody does. We trunk some of it. So that is that Wi-Fi? Okay. So as you look here, Roku setup instructions. So if you got Roku, you can actually click here and it'll set up your Roku connection. Or you can go to Facebook, YouTube, and even at this point Google Maps to get you here.
What kind of program do you use?
Website is set up through Wix, wix.com, W-I-X.
Okay.
This website, I didn't do that personally. We've got a member here that just had surgery. He spent 100+ hours on this website, redesigning it from what it was when Bruce was doing it. Took a lot of work, design work. As you look at it, logo. So as you look at the logo, and we branded it so they know we do sign language. Question?
Which program? The Wix.
About 2 or 3 months ago.
About 2 or 3. Oh, it happened about 2 or 3 months ago. It's brand new.
Yeah, this is all brand new material for us. But as you look at it, you know, it's very. See, we're trying to cater. This is a ministry that Maysville believes in wholeheartedly. They're spending money like computers and classrooms and things like that to make sure that this is what we can do, because there is a group of people out there that's not being helped, and we want to do that. And that's why our videos have sign language overlays so that you can watch them online from Maysville.org.
Yeah.
Yep. So everybody going back in the auditorium? Questions? I kind of question and answers as we went through. I tried to answer as we go through.
Wonderful technology. Yeah, thank you.
Name of the movie editor.
Movie editor or video editor. We actually generate the picture in a picture through hardware and software. The software we use is Vid Blaster, which is an old software.
What?
Vid Blaster. Okay. It's an old software. If you went to get it now, there is a newer version of 5.1, which we're not using. but it is
How much does it cost?
subscription based. It probably costs you about $10 a month. What I did is I kept the old version because I paid for it up front and I don't have a subscription. I don't like subscriptions. So I said I want the full version, but I want to pay you. So the new version actually went to a subscription based, and I went, well, I'm not going to renew because I don't want a subscription.
I work for his church.
What's that?
Oh, business card?
I don't have a. If you go to Maysville.org, here you go. If you go to About Us,
Yeah, you're blocking it.
well, hang on, let me get it up. There we go. If you go to Leadership and scroll down, you can email me. Yeah, I'm at the bottom of the page. It's a picture.
Yeah, that's
Click right there. You can email me. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Here. That's my personal email.
How long did it take you to become an expert like this?
Since 2009. Now, that's what I was going to say. The technical people I call on to say, hey, I need help setting this up. I called him the other day and he said, man, you're so far over my head.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait till Bruce is
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Go ahead.
And you guys will be here Wednesday, right? I'll be here Wednesday night.
Thank you, Nate.
So if
Thank
you
you for
got
this
any
information.
questions,
It's valuable to me.
if you got questions, call me, email me, let me know.
Well, I'm one of your subscribers.
Okay, good deal, good deal.
Since I've done it, but-
You're welcome.
because we think that it's wonderful between. Yeah, I'm an interpreter. Where
Okay,
She goes to
okay,
church, yes.
okay.
So,
Yeah,
but,
good.
It's at Prattville. So
Prattville.
we're at Prattville Church.
Okay,
Yes.
I may have to stop in there sometime because that's where we meet. My dad's brother lives in Mobile, and that's halfway.
Well-
So we stop at the Prattville exit right there where the Bass Pro Shops is.
Understood. So that road that you take, you just follow that down all the way to the old downtown section. We're right before that old
Okay,
downtown section.
been there.
There's a